This video right here is probably the most important video you need to watch as a creator. Out of all the creative how-tos, the best tips and tricks to get more viewers, the best kind of gear to watch, out of all of that, what we're going to talk about here is going to be an absolute game changer for anyone looking at taking this full time. Whew. This is going to be a long video, but super important. Hey creators, so my name's Jake Barros. If you've no idea who the hell I am, I'm a content producer, I'm a streamer, I run my own content creation business, and I've been a full-time content creator for the past 4 to 5 years. And in that time, I've spoken to a lot of creators, a lot of creatives, and a lot of my friends that are looking at taking this to the next level, whether that's from, a hobby into a side hustle, whether that is from the side hustle to something full time. And what we're about to talk about in this video is the number one thing I share with every single one of them. And it was an absolute game changer in my creative journey. So as creators, we are constantly asked like the same question over and over again by everyone that we know. Why do we spend hours honing and developing our craft for little to no guarantee of financial reward? Why do we try over and over again perfecting this edit or movement or whatever it may be that the general eye will most likely not even see? Why do we so passionately go after our creative pursuits? Why is a question that we consistently get asked by everyone in our lives that hasn't yet experience that like empowering nature of creativity, And the funny thing is, we generally answer the same as well. I do it because it's what I love to do. I do it because I feel like it's what I'm meant to do. I do it because it makes me feel this way, X, Y, Z. Majority of the time, we're giving these surface level responses in return, and we ourselves haven't really ever thought too deeply about the actual answer. And that's what this video is about, because discovering your why is the most crucial and important aspect to it, not only achieving the success that you want to achieve, but also with living a life of purpose. It's something that I believe is the key element to going all in on your creative pursuit, as well as defining how you are different to everyone else doing it. It will be one of the answers why you succeed over everyone else, but more importantly, how you actually achieve true happiness in your life.
So those are all great words, Jake, very inspiring, but what the hell does it mean? Where do we actually start?
So this whole concept of understanding your why actually comes from 2009, and you may have heard of him, but Sinek presented this TED Talk about his golden circle. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend going to watch it. I'll drop the link in the description below. It is an absolute must watch. In this presentation, he goes in depth about the importance of understanding your why and how it has launched some of the greatest brands, moments, and movements throughout our entire history. So his golden circle method consists of your why in the center, your how, and then your what. And your traditional way of looking at this, what a lot of brands, what a lot of individuals have done and normally do, is start with the what. So for myself, what do? I'm a content producer, I'm a streamer, you might be a designer, a musician, a photographer. The what's very easy. And then your how do you go about doing video production, photography, design? For me and my business with say like video production, my how might sound something like, I create epic online and social video content that tells a company's story and who they are as a brand. And what Simon talks about is generally that's it. We say our what, we say our how, and then it's kind of like a cool, like, would you like to work together? And what the great brands are doing, what the great individuals throughout our history have done is actually start at the why. They've defined what their why is, what it's all about, and then they'll tell you how they do that, and at the end, what it is that they actually do. Simon's golden circle is all about having the why at the core of everything you do, and it's the way in which to inspire others to share in that belief as well. As he puts in his presentation, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So if you're looking at taking the next step in your creative journey, if you're looking at going all in, you want to turn this into a full-time gig, you even want to take that hobby and start making a little bit of money, turn it into a side hustle, like no matter what it is, you should really be asking yourselves the question, why is it that I do what I do? Why do I get out of bed every morning and do it? Because understanding that is absolutely game-changing to your entire creative journey. For example, my own creative journey has been a long, fantastic ride. And for me, I think it really started around about 2008. Like most people, mine started out as a hobby. I was just a kid fresh out of high school who started uploading some videos to YouTube. I started out uploading music covers, I went into uploading gameplay, I just tried absolutely everything that I could. And my reason for doing so, my why behind all of this was just the simple notion that it was fun, it was something that I liked doing, and it helped me be a creative person. And that why for me continued for a very long time. Throughout me having that as a hobby, to turning it into a bit of a side hustle, my first business, if you will, with a friend. And from that, realizing it might be something that I want to pursue further and going part-time into stuff like wedding videography. And even all the way up into flipping this into a full-time opportunity for myself, that why was still so surface level. It was fun, I liked doing it, it helped me be a creative person. And even at this point in time when I was taking things full-time, I never delved deeper into why I was doing so. And looking back, like not delving deeper into that why is definitely the reason why that I had one of the most hardest and defining moments in my creative journey. So for context, I ended up getting a full-time content producer role internally at a business. You know, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I had flipped this little hobby of making YouTube videos into a full-time role where I got paid full-time for it, that I got to make whatever I wanted, however I wanted to make it. Like the creative dream, right? But that honeymoon period came to a very quick end when I kind of realized that the company that I was working for had some serious issues with toxic working environments and management teams, and it was just somewhere I didn't want to be. And sure, it satisfied me in the creative sense, but it definitely didn't satisfy me in like the professional sense of working for a place with good morals, good culture, and good ethics. So, absolute plot twist, I left. So I left shortly after I had started at that place and jumped into doing something which, looking back on, I'm sure a lot of people would be like, oh my God, Jake, what? I left that company and went and started my own content creation agency. I started it with a business partner and we had very little runway. We had very little funds to start this little journey. I think all we had was basically just the payout from the company that we were entitled to, and that was about like a month worth of wages. We had no brand, we had no website, we had no clients, we had nothing. Well, I mean, like that's not entirely true. Like my wife and I were expecting our second child, which ironically, that announcement came in the same week I was planning to quit my job. So a lot of things all happening at the exact same time, right? So look, we'll skip like the rocky montage of how all that got set up and how it got working. But in the end, indeed, that business, that content creation agency did indeed get built and ran for a solid 2.5, 3 years. And having an agency, I feel is like what most creatives, like that's what we see as like, that is the peak of the journey, right? Like having an office, having a team, having a space to create like original content, making money, having a good rapport with clients and having clients want to work with you. I feel like that's the dream and that's what we had. You know, we were traveling across Australia and internationally as well. We just got to love every day we woke up to work. But the funny thing is, even with all of that happening, even with like that dream scenario being a reality, there came a moment for me where I got hit with a wall of something just not feeling right. And in hindsight, it was definitely a gradual build to this moment, but in the moment, it felt like I just woke up one day and everything felt off. And I like really struggled to understand why. The business was heading in the right direction. We were making good money from it. It was satisfying me as a creative. I got to work on some great projects, but yet I was coming home absolutely not happy. And throughout this struggle of understanding why, the more I reflected on it, the more I realized that the reason why I felt like the business didn't fit with me anymore is because it didn't actually align with my true why. You know, like I said, as a young creative, I had never really delved deep into my understanding of why. And nor did I even realize it. Like, unless someone had spoken to you about it, said, hey, you should think about this, or you just stumbled upon Simon Sinek's 2009 presentation, it's not something that you would think of. And that is absolutely fair. And that's why I wanted to share this experience with you all today. So I had gone through my creative journey thinking, well, I do this because I'm good at it, because it's fun, because it would be cool to get paid to create stuff. And it wasn't until this like defining moment that I sat down and was like, let's properly answer the question of why for myself. And that's what I did. I asked, what was my why? Why do I get out of bed every morning and do this? What is the ultimate reason behind why I pursue content creation, both professionally and personally? And I spent like a good 2 or 3 weeks reflecting on what my why was. And by this time as well, I knew that walking away from the content creation agency was the right option for me to do. And wholeheartedly, whatever I did next needed to align with my why. Like, absolutely. And I remember this so vividly. The same day I had the chat with my business partner and told her like everything that was going on and what I needed to do was the same day that I walked into an Audi down the road from the office and bought a notebook. And I went home and filled that notebook with all the thoughts that I had as to why I do what I do. And as I started to do so, I realized that my why was really centered around lifestyle. So I delved deeper into, well, what does that lifestyle look like? What is that lifestyle that I want? What are my priorities as an individual, as a professional, as a husband, as a dad? And that started to really untangle this web of what my why was. And then I went even further. I started looking at the how. Well, what does the ideal business look like? What does my day-to-day look like if this is my core why? You know, and that moment for me was like 2 or 3 years ago now, and I still have that notebook. You know, spending that time and reflecting on what my why was utterly game changing for me. Every decision, every move, every project, every service or product that I have done from that point till now has been something that has centered and aligned with my why. Like I mentioned at the start of this video, I obviously still work in content creation. I do video production, photography, audio content. I still run my own business, but I don't do them anymore because it's fun, because it would be cool to have a job like that, because, you know, it's something that satisfies me as a creative. The reason why I do what I want to do is because I want to live a creative life, and even further, want to help others be able to do that as well. And at the same time, I also want to be able to spend as much time as possible with my family. I want to spend more time than I would if I just worked a standard 9-to-5 job. I want to be in control of that time so I can actually spend that valuable resource of time how I want to in my life. And now I absolutely do. Like, everything I wrote in that book, I absolutely align to every single day. Like, every move I make in my content creation business and every other endeavor that I'm currently running with aligns to my why core values of family and of the value of time. The way I structure my day, the projects and the clients I take on, my workload, the additional services and products that I release, or surround my why. And fully understanding my why has given me nothing but such clear clarity around everything that I should be doing, as well as everything that I shouldn't be doing either. Everything gets filtered through my why. And essentially it churns out how exactly I should be going about doing things. Having experienced all that for myself, having uncovered my true why, has given me undeniable confidence in where I'm heading and my path of how to get there. You know, and that's why your why is just so game changing. That is why I wanted to share this piece of knowledge with all of you today. Because like I said, it is so crucial and it's so important to flipping this into where you want it to go. If you want this to be your full-time gig, you really need to understand why it is that you're pursuing it. Why do you want that to be full-time? And you need to go deep on it. Because by doing so, you are going to give yourself the most powerful tool in your arsenal to achieving however success looks like to you, as well as actually living a pretty damn happy life. So I hope that's helpful. I know it's a bit of a long video, but I truly believe like this is like such a crucial thing to do at the start of your journey. Whether that's you're actually at the start of your creative journey and it's a hobby and you're looking at doing something more with it, or the start of your journey in terms of taking this a lot more seriously, maybe taking it into something more full-time. It's a game changer. I can't say it any other way. It's a game changer and it's definitely the right place to start. So please, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you do hit that like button for me. And if you're keen to come back for some more, well, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. There are plenty of other places you can find me on the internet: Instagram, Twitter, Twitch being another one. All that's linked in the description below. But if you are a creative, if you are a creator, wherever you are at in your journey and you're looking at leveling up, at taking the next steps, the place to be is in my Discord. Creator Inc. is a hub for all creatives to not only chat to like-minded and talented people, but also the place where I drop free assets, free things that you can use in your video edits and social content, as well as one of our newest products, Stream Tapes, which is a copyright-free music library that's absolutely copyright-free music for free for anything that you do, your video edits, your streams. It's available on Spotify, Apple Music, as well as direct download on the website as well. So if you want to join Creator Inc., scan the QR code, or there's a link in the description as well. Anyway, creators, that is it from me. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and I'd just love to hear where you're at in your journey and what's next for you. Like I said, I hope this is helpful. It's the thing that flipped, like, okay, I'm doing this seriously, but gave me like absolute direction and clarity in terms of everything that I needed to do to succeed even more. So I hope that I can do exactly the same thing for you. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. I've been talking long enough. Enjoy, guys. Happy creating. I'll see you in the next video.